Good morning, David Sable, Entrepreneurship and Biotechnology. My education started with business, moved to medicine, and then went back to business. When I learned business the second time, I took some of the medical principles. Most importantly, looking for the underlying basic science behind what it is that we do in the business world. This was no more helpful when I set out to learn finance. Now, in science, we have chemistry. And in chemistry, you have the periodic table, one of the greatest forms of communication ever designed for something complex. In the business world, we have accounting. Now, accounting, for all its problems, has a almost periodic table-like logic to it. And I like to use that logic to teach my students, who are predominantly engineers and scientists, in a way that really resonates. When we start with finance, we start with the balance sheet. The balance sheet is quite simple. There's so much philosophy, structure, and theory underlying the balance sheet. Underlying it is a basic equation. To understand a company, you understand what you own and how you paid for it. Balance sheet is cut into two parts: the assets on one side, the liabilities and equity on the other. Left side, assets, what you own. Right side, liability and equity, how you paid for it, debt and equity. This simple equation is really, really powerful. If you want to learn about a company at any state, you can tell a real story about whether it's been built in a rational means by looking at the balance sheet or in a haphazard, scattered means. As an investor, I love looking at the balance sheet because the first thing I want to know is, when I buy a share of stock or 1,000,000 shares of stock, is what percentage of the company do I own? And as that company creates value, what proportion of that value is going to flow into my ownership? We're going to spend a couple talks going over that. But it's important to go back, and when balance sheet and finance seems most complex, simplify it. Go down to your balance sheet, look to see what the company owns and how it paid for it. And it's a great start.